Roger Joseph Zelazny was born on May 13th, 1937, in Euclid, Ohio. He was the only child of Joseph Frank Zelazny and Josephine Flora Sweet. Zelazny was an American fantasy sci-fi writer, best known for his long-running Chronicles of Amber series, but is also well known for his standalone novels such as Lord of Light and several short stories. From a young age, he was taken with creative writing. In high school, he became the editor of the school newspaper, and he also joined the Creative Writing Club. After graduating from Columbia University in 1962, he went on to work for the Social Security Administration in Cleveland, Ohio. After 7 years of writing science fiction shorts in his spare time, he eventually quit his job and became a full-time writer. His first professional publication and sale was of a fantasy short story called Mr. Fuller's Revolt in 1954. From there, he deliberately progressed from writing short stories to novelettes, to novels, and finally a full-length series. Throughout his life, Zelazny has won 6 Hugo Awards and 3 Nebula Awards. He spent the majority of his life in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Zelazny died in 1995, aged 53, of kidney failure, secondary to colorectal cancer. Today would have been the celebration of his 75th birthday. I never knew Zelazny. I was only a year old when he died, and I didn't discover his books until I was 15. Since then, I've been completely in love with his works of fiction and his unique writing style. His series, The Chronicles of Amber, has entranced me, taken my hand and shown me a whole new side of my imagination that I never knew existed before, a side of infinite possibility and endless adventure. I was first introduced to the Amber universe through my friend Andrew Malcolm, who had contact with Eric Wujak, who was a close associate of Zelazny. Andrew is a role player and a great GM. He came to me when I was about 15 and asked if I wanted to join with a session of Amber diceless role-playing. As an avid D&D and World of Darkness player, I said yes, and needless to say, I failed to grasp the finer concepts of the game straight away. I didn't even get past character creation. The game carried on without me then, and I forgot about Amber for a year or so, until eventually I found my old notes and handouts from that first session. I did searches and learned some more about the universe out of curiosity, and from there I was hooked. Amber is set in a multiverse. This is a universe consisting of multiple dimensions. In fact, an infinite number of dimensions called shadows. In these so-called shadows, there lies anything and everything imaginable. At the center of the universe is a city called Amber, and the story follows the adventures of the royal family of Amber, who are all immortal and who have the unique ability to travel through shadows. Their trials and tribulations throughout the series, however, are things to be judged merely aesthetically, as ultimately the series is about the characters. Much like George R.R. Martin's A Song of Fire and Ice, the series is focused primarily on character development. In fact, Martin actually gives credit to Zelazny in the acknowledgement sections of his books. And if you've ever seen an interview with Martin, then you'll know that he throws his praises to Zelazny at least once in every single one he does. It would seem that Zelazny helped him out quite a bit in certain areas. Either that, or he was just a huge inspiration to him. Needless to say, if you've read and enjoyed A Song of Fire and Ice, or seen the series, then you'll probably love Amber. Just think, a Game of Thrones, but with insane immortals who can travel through dimensions, and I think you'll get the idea. It's a real shame that Zelazny died when he did, as the ending to the Amber series is somewhat non-existent. The last book in the series ends with almost no closure, and the 6 stories that followed after the 10th novel do nothing to bring an end to things, and instead open up several new plot threads and introduce a few new characters. It's clear then that Zelazny wasn't done with the series. It means, however, that I'm simply left to grasp at the loose ends and try to work out where Zelazny was trying to take things from the little clues that he left throughout the books. This lack of closure left me yearning for more, so I sought his book of short stories, Manna from Heaven, and I'm still reading this one on and off. But one of the stories that stuck out to me so far is the one called Godson. Godson is about a boy with a godfather who just so happens to be Death. The boy's parents are killed at a young age, and the boy is visited by his godfather once per year with a birthday present. One year he gives him a bicycle that turns out to be a demon, and the boy goes to try to find his godfather, who has an awful habit of just disappearing after every birthday. When the boy finds him, they talk football, play chess, listen to some Schubert. The godfather persuades the boy to take up medicine, and after he graduates, he presents him with a magical plant which has the power to be made into all sorts of medicines and cure almost every ailment. I won't ruin the ending for you, but it's quite brilliant. The whole story is about the balance between life and death. The boy, who is by this point a man, has the power to stop anyone from dying, but his godfather has the power to kill anyone, saying that everyone has their time, and thus restricts his godson's use of the plant to only save people when they're dying before their proper time has come. Then someone close to the boy has their time come, and he's forced to make a choice. I'm also about halfway through Lord of Light, which George R.R. Martin has dubbed one of the 5 best sci-fi novels ever written, and has won a Hugo Award for Best Sci-Fi Novel of the Year. Lord of Light is a bit harder to read than Amber, but it's worth it. As far as I can tell, it's set in the far future of Earth, where technology has been reversed back to a medieval era, save for these sort of high-power, steampunk-esque machines that can do all sorts of things with various flavours of lightning, such as the prayer machine and the resurrection machine. There's this yellow disk of light that now circulates the Earth, and this is where the souls of the dead have manifested. The resurrection machine basically plucks the souls out from this thing and forces them into a new body, like artificial reincarnation. There's a lot of Indian and Hindu trends with the book, and the whole world seems to be in a sort of Arabian environment. It's a really cool setting, if nothing else. The story follows Sam, who's a monk, warrior, prince, guy, thing, and he's also a god, or he used to be, or he wasn't, I think. Yeah, I really shouldn't talk about this since I haven't read the whole thing yet. Also, people can become gods and get demoted from godhood, and there's a sort of great city that only gods are allowed in, and apparently Sam led a war against the gods at one point, or something. Whatever. It's a good read, even if I have no idea what's happening. Zelazny was a literary genius. His worlds and his stories have captivated me, and will always be with my heart. I never knew Zelazny. I wish I could have, though, or at least met him, just to tell him how grateful I am. Amber has quite literally changed my life. It's changed the way I approach a situation, the way I think about things, even the way I talk to people. It's made me subconsciously paranoid of everyone, but it's also opened up my imagination to a whole new region, and shown me spectrums of fantasy, music, and literature that I never even knew existed before, or never really appreciated. Amber has made me interested in things like string theory and quantum physics, engineering, philosophy, psychology, architecture, politics, history, language, martial arts, dance, etiquette. The list goes on. It's made me notice the subtleties of life. Amber is as much a part of me now as I'm sure it was for Zelazny, and I love him for it. So thank you, Roger. Thanks for Amber, for the characters, for the universe and the ideas. Thanks for making me who I am today. And finally, thanks for being you. Goodbye, and hello, as always.